Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Usha.
Let's start episode 238 of Ask Vidas and Usha podcast. This question was sent by Prince. He writes, I'm Prince from Ghana. I wish to become a great organist in future, but my problem is my family cannot afford to buy me an organ. So I move from church to church playing the organ. And I also cannot practice every day because I don't have the organ in my house. So my organ playing does not improve. So having an organ or any type of instrument at home is great privilege, Osha, right?
True. Yes, but unfortunately not everybody can afford it. And if we are talking about organ, how many years ago did we get our organ at home? 10 years ago probably.
When we returned from the States.
But not right away. We did it not right away.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was like about 10 years ago only. And no, at that time we had already established careers, and we had our doctoral degrees. So, but before that, since my childhood, I had only a piano at home. And as for organ, I always practiced organ, either at the Academy of Music or at church. And I did a lot of, of mental practice too. What about you with this?
When when I was growing up, of course, I had a piano at home, and then this piano had a feature that it had a middle pedal. You could press that pedal and the sound would be quite soft, or very soft actually, too soft I think for that instrument. But the good thing about that was that I could practice late at night. Nobody could hear me.
I didn't have such a pedal, so I would always have to practice at home, during a daytime, because otherwise I would just bother my neighbors and people would be complaining. So it's it's not easy thing to do when you are trying to become a professional, but that's a life and you have to adjust. It only means that when you finally access an instrument, you need to make your practice as efficient as you can.
What do you mean?
Well, no, every day what you want to improve, what you want to do with the piece that you are practicing, or with your technique.
So right now, for example, we have an organ at home and we can play wherever we want. And
but before that, there were many years without organ at home, or for example during our studies in the States.
Mm-hmm.
During our doctoral studies in the States, we didn't have any instrument in our apartment because we just rented an apartment and didn't have any instruments, so we did all the practice at school or at church.
So finding an organ at church would be probably number one option for Prince.
True.
Or people
True.
who are in his shoes.
Yes, and maybe to get an access at home to own any type of keyboard, not necessarily organ, because organ is so expensive.
Maybe it's a temporary situation, temporary solution to buy maybe used electronic keyboard, and they could be quite inexpensive.
True.
Used, not new, maybe not in a perfect condition. You don't need that. It's just for practice, and it's just temporary until you will find something at least better, or until you can invest. You can afford to invest until you become professional in this, and you see maybe you will have some savings, or you say to yourself, okay, I'm a professional at this. I have to have a good practice tools, like carpenter would buy good trade tools, and plumber, right? If they are professionals. So, but at first, when they just starting out, they don't know if they will be professionals or not. So they just probably use whatever they have at hand.
And Prince mentioned that he practices at church once in a while, yes, but not every day. So maybe for now, try to reach such a thing that church would allow you to practice every day, and do something nice back to the church that we would want to let you in to practice. Volunteer.
Volunteer or give donations.
Well, and as I understood, Prince's family cannot, make donations. We cannot afford to have an instrument at home. So then volunteer for the church.
Yeah, basically you either donate your time or your money.
In this case, you will have to donate your time.
Right. Whatever you have more in your hands. And if you don't have time and don't have money, some people have that, right, Osha?
True.
What does it mean then?
That either you don't know how to plan your time, or practicing organ is not so important for you.
Or that other people are exploiting you.
Yes, that's also true.
And you don't know how to say no.
True.
Right? So you have to learn how to say no to things that don't really matter to you. Because otherwise you will end up doing only things that matter to other people. I mean, it might sound quite selfish, right, Osha, what I'm saying now. But I'm not saying from the selfish perspective. I'm saying from the perspective of an artist, right? And artists need to find solutions how and when they could improve their art, right?
I know.
It's a priority.
I know what you mean, because for many, many years I didn't know how to say no to people when they would ask me to do some favors for them.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, I just felt exhausted after making other people happy and working for them. But when I realized that I will not be able to do anything for myself, or even rest enough, and that's not good, actually.
Yeah, you live only once, I think, and this saying no skill is very, very important, especially later in life. Maybe in youth, people can say yes to many, many things. Try out as many things as they even can to find out what their true purpose in life is. Because not too many people know right from the beginning.
True.
Their mission in life. But once they know the purpose, they must grab that purpose and never let it go. So that's what Prince should do too, I think. With the church, volunteer, maybe playing once a month for them. If he can play, if he is in this level of church service playing.
True.
Mm-hmm. If not, he has to improve first, right? Get experience.
And of course, there are other, jobs in church that you can do as a volunteer.
Yes, definitely.
Greeting people before service and after service, showing them the places, ushering, acolytes, and all other things.
So basically, really become an indispensable member of the community, right? So that
That's
people
right.
would miss you if you didn't show up in that church.
And then you will have an access to an organ all the time.
Right. It would be a very natural thing if you just ask them by that time, when you do for them so much that they would say, of course, why didn't you ask us before? right?
That's right, yes.
You're doing so many things for our community. And that's the least expensive way to get access to the organ. Make
That's
friends with the local community and help them.
True.
Be helpful. Okay, guys, we hope this was useful to you because many people don't have organ at home, right? I recently found out that one of our colleagues has an organ at home, but she said that since the time that she bought that organ, she is practicing less and less, actually.
That's a paradox, but it often happens. Because you know that you can play anytime when you know as you wish, and it prevents you from actually practicing.
Yes, it's a great privilege to have an access to the organ all the time, but it doesn't guarantee you that you will sit down and practice.
Yes, you have to have enough motivation.
And motivation comes only from knowing that your time is very, very limited.
True.
Thank you, guys. This was Vidas.
And Usha.
Please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.